Now I'd like to introduce Isis Gerfalls, and she is also a student at the Met High School.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Louder? Okay. Good afternoon to those who have lost someone to gun violence, to those who were oppressors to gun violence, and those weary of discussing the same issue over and over again. I'm Isis Gerfalls, a student tired of having to consistently discuss a topic of such common sense. I'm here to bring a voice to the youth that want change, the students and educators that fear for their lives, and the people across America that have become so numb to these events. I had a meeting at the school I currently attend to discuss our thoughts and feelings on these past events. One essential idea that came up was that we need more support in our schools such as teacher assistants, counselors, and volunteers. How do you expect a single teacher to maintain the emotional, mental, and behavioral aid for every student individually within a class of 30? As one student during the meeting said, "I one day want to become a teacher. I fear that this will happen and I will not be able to protect my own kids." Our future educators raised concerns about what has yet to come if we do not advocate for change. Another student spoke out and said, "I come from a country where I was not trained to hide in case someone comes to our school and kills us. My family and I came here for a better life and a better education." This should not be the responsibility of students and teachers to protect themselves from an issue which can be prevented. It is illogical to incentivize a child to protect their own life when there is an active shooter. It is also irresponsible of the government to even let this become an option, and they make it seem as if this is their only choice. Why are we not safe in an environment which we are forced to be in? With this, the government feels the need to enforce armed officers in schools to protect our students, but in reality end up over-policing. Unfortunately, especially in a school setting, police are seen as threats to both the oppressor and victim, and in this case, all students. Instead, why don't we give police the same social and emotional training that social workers receive? Instead of programming them to remove the threat, we need to train them to de-escalate a situation and act based on what is going on, disarm and protect, not kill. Gun violence has impacted the life of too many teens. As one of my peers shared, "I lost my uncle to gun violence. He was innocently walking down the street one day and all of a sudden he was shot in a drive-by. He was mistaken for someone else." Others, including myself, shared losing loved ones due to gun violence. Why is the tool of such chaos and such unnecessary power so normalized in American culture? Why do we plant these seeds of violence at such a young age? Children play with Nerf guns with no intentions to do any harm, but we now find it okay to let such beautiful creatures of innocence become so normalized by this. Throughout these events, we see a common theme: accessibility. Why is it so easy for people, especially young adults, to get access to these guns? We make excuses for mentally stable people purchasing guns for protection, but there would be no need for protection if other normal people like yourself weren't buying guns in the first place. As well as checking past crimes, why don't we check the mental state of the purchaser and their intentions behind it? Us teenagers allow ourselves to become so numb to what is going on. No, you cannot change the world, but you are a part of the world. Change happens within you, one person at a time. Thank you.
So before we go on to our next speaker, I'd just like to extend thanks to the leadership in the House of Representatives and the legislators, partners, and supporters that worked so hard for many years to get these 3 bills passed.